first item on our agenda is a continued hearing for sign 7 at the Burlington Mall. Please introduce yourself and give us a quick reminder of what we're looking at.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I am Bill Proya. I'm here for the applicant tonight. And
Justin Feldhouse, General Manager of Rosen Mall.
just a question before I start. Do you have plans? Because I brought extra
Yes,
sets
we
if you
have,
want
we
them.
have the revised plans,
You
yeah.
want a little
Today.
bigger version of those, if I could pass
Sure,
them out?
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so just a reminder, this is a continued public hearing, and the last time we were here, all the other proposed signs were approved by the board, and there were comments on this particular sign. There was an arrow in the previous version, I don't know if you have that in your file. And then the location of the sign, the board also asked to shift it to the left, further away from the entrance door, and these plans reflect those changes requested at that time. So I hope that answers the questions, and if you have any specific questions or comments, we'll take those.
Jim, we'll start with you. You got any questions?
I don't think so, not at this point.
Brenda? Charles?
I don't have any questions.
Mark?
No questions.
Mike? No? All right, I'm fine with this. The changes are what we asked for. This is still a public hearing. This is open to the public. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or against this proposal? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
Make a
Close the
motion
public hearing.
to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Any other questions or comments from the board or motions?
Motion maker.
I'll make a motion to approve 75 Middlesex Turnpike for a wall sign, sign B, as shown on plans dated March 27th, 2019, 80.07A and 07B. Second?
I'm gonna put the lighting, Richard.
Yeah, so, sorry, the,
I'm not sure if it's there.
condition that the lumens do not exceed 90 lumens per square foot.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is for a new hearing for Garrity Road. Mike, can you read that into the record for us, please?
Yes. The petition of Nathan Landry for property at 4 Garrity Road, as shown on map number 27, parcel number 46 of the Burlington Assessor's Map. The applicant is seeking a variance to remove the existing house and construct a new one. The proposed house is to be built on a lot size of 19,730.8. The town of Burlington requires lot sizes to be 20,000 square feet. Article 5, Section 5.2, requiring a variance from the Board of Appeals, as shown on plans filed on March 7th, 2019. And a copy is on file at the town clerk's office.
Can you please introduce yourself and give us an overview of your project?
Hi, good evening. My name's Nathan Landry. This is my wife, Lauren Ashley. We've been in Burlington now for about 10 years, and 6 of those have been on Garrity Road. We'd like to, instead of leaving the community we love, we want to tear down and rebuild a house on that property. However, we're 230 square feet short, and we would like to approve a variance so that we may build a new home on that property.
Okay, start with Mike. Do you have any questions?
Nothing right now.
John?
No, not yet. Wait and see what the neighbors say.
Mark?
So Nathan, right? Nathan, so as part of the requirements of getting a variance,
Yep.
I'm sure you know you need to establish that there's a hardship, right? And so what is the hardship here?
The hardship that, from what I was told, was that I am under I am at 19,780 square feet. The minimum for the building permit was 20,000.
Okay. But that does not satisfy the hardship requirement that is necessary to get a variance here. If it has to be related to the topography or the shape of the lot or, so I have some questions about the hardship. And were you aware of the square footage requirement when you decided to build a new home?
Yes, my architect notified me of the 20,000 square foot requirement. And it was
So
also, the other discrepancy I saw was that in the town plan, it said 20,000 square feet, and my surveyor came up with the 19,780 figure.
So do you have that plan? What plan are you referring to?
My certified plot plan. Should be with the materials that I gave you.
Oh, I think he's asking, what plan showed the 20,000 square feet?
It should be,
Is it the online one?
yeah, so that should be map 27,
The assessor's map.
the assessor's map,
Okay.
yes.
So, can I ask a question?
So my, oh, sorry.
So when you bought the house, you had no I mean, it was under 20,000 square feet when you bought it 6 years ago.
That's correct.
It was under 20,000 square feet?
Of course, it's not like he's sold the land, it's
Yeah,
been under
nothing-
20,000 square feet.
Nothing's
To
changed.
me, I thought this was gonna be housekeeping, but
Yeah, it's, everything, all our houses within the setbacks, it's just, there was a discrepancy there, and we were denied, and.
you got a mortgage, no problem.
Yeah,
So, I mean, there must be some legal reason why he has to come in for variance, probably because you're tearing the whole thing down, I suppose.
yeah.
I don't
Legal
know, but,
reason is that there's a requirement of
well,
20,000 square feet.
you say there's no hardship, but the fact that he has under 20,000 square feet is topography, is that he doesn't have enough land. It's not like it's.
That's a
not
self-created
not
hardship,
a-
my
Not a
friend.
buildable lot. No,
Many
it's
of them.
not. He bought it that way.
I'll let other members of the board weigh in.
Charles?
So can I just clarify, when you purchased the house in, 6 years ago,
Yeah,
you had a plot plan that stated you had 20,000 square feet?
I don't believe so, no. I'd have to look back in my mortgage documents, but it was an old plot plan to begin with, whatever was in the deed to the building.
Obviously, we didn't think at that time that we would be renovating or tearing down, but as we plan for our future and our family, the homes in Burlington are getting to be really expensive, and we thought this would be a better way to go to stay in the community and have a home that fits what we need for our future family.
Okay. I don't have any other questions at the moment.
Brenda?
Just looking at your proposed plot plan,
Yep.
you know, we have what's required, what's existing, what's proposed. In your building height, it says XX feet. Do you know what the proposed building height is?
Yes, it should be 29 feet to the mid-rafter. I believe the maximum is 30 feet. The home's a standard two-story colonial.
I don't have any other questions at this time.
Jim?
No?
All right, I think I'm gonna hold off to see what the neighbors have to say as well. This is a public hearing. If there's anyone here that would like to speak in favor or against this proposal, you can please come up to the microphone, and introduce yourselves.
My name is Peter Capola, I live at 2 Garrity Road. I'm corner of Garrity and Bedford Street, direct abutter to the Nathan and Ashley. Mark, to your question about the hardship, that area of town, that subdivision was approved in 1953. There were no variances needed. They were all 20,000 square feet. But that area of town was also had questions with surveyors. So we don't know exactly where all the property lines are and everything else. It's always a problem in that neighborhood. So I truly believe that they had 20,000 square feet, and they probably still have 20,000 square feet. This particular surveyor came up short. But having said all of that, we have absolutely no problem with them tearing down this house, which is now, 40-something years old, and put up a new house and staying there, which is commendable, rather than selling it to a developer, and who knows who's gonna do that. So we're in favor of this.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this matter? I don't keep the public hearing open for now until we go through another round of comments. Anyone else have any other comments or questions?
To me, it seems like housekeeping.
Yeah, I agree, especially hearing that it was originally shown as 20,000 square feet, and this is showing some kind of variance from some kind of surveyor at one point or another, so I don't have a problem with this. Unless anyone else has any questions, we still have to close the public hearing, and then we can take a motion.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve for Garrity Road for a lot size variance, 19,730.8 square feet, as shown on site plan dated 2.
This is 82.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that means, well,
The plot plan's incorrectly dated. And it says 282, 2019. But, yeah, that's the first one. Yeah. This one.
reference the drawing.
It's this one, so-
I have a screenshot of it that says 22819.
Yeah, it's just the one that we have submitted. We're just trying to reference the
Okay.
plan for,
Yeah, I can just reference the drawing number and then
yeah.
then these drawings too. All right, as shown on plan number PR-1. Plans A1 through A6. FC, S1 through S3.
Yeah, we probably should since they're submitted, yeah. All right, the motion is made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Good luck.
Might be living with my parents.
Well, good luck with that.
Good luck.
The next item on our agenda is a new hearing for Raleigh Road. Mark, can you read that into the record for us, please?
Yes, new hearing, the petition of Melissa and Sean O'Dowd for the property at 19 Raleigh Road, as shown on map number 16, parcel number 113 of the Burlington Assessor's Maps. The applicant is seeking a variance to construct a second-floor addition with a farmer's porch, along with expansion of the garage. The town of Burlington requires side setbacks to be 15 feet, and the proposed right side addition is 13.7. In addition, the town of Burlington required front setback requirement is 25 feet, and the proposed is 21.3 feet. Both requests are in violation of Article 5, Section 5.2.0, requiring a variance from the Board of Appeals, as shown on plans filed on March 7th, 2019, and a copy is on file with the town clerk's office.
So, can you please introduce yourself and give us an overview of the project?
Sure. My name's Sean O'Dowd. My wife Melissa is traveling for work tonight, so she unfortunately wasn't going to be able to be here. We've lived on Raleigh Road for 7 years next week. When we bought 7 years ago, we were a family of 2. We're now a family of 4. So are pretty much at capacity. We're on a 1-floor ranch right now and are looking to put a second floor addition on our house. As part of that, we're also looking to put a farmer's porch. We currently have a covered porch over the doorway. We're basically looking to extend that through the garage. There's basically 2 variances that we're applying for right now, the farmer's porch being one. Our current house is already past the setback requirement in the front. It was built in the early 50s. We did check, and at the time, there was no variance or anything that had been applied for at the time. It seems like it was before setback requirements are there, or the road maybe had been widened since the house has been built. So we're not looking to go any further out from where the current porch is right now. At the closest point, it'll be about 35 inches from over the setback requirement. The second piece of that is expanding our garage from a 1-car garage to a 2-car garage to help better account for just storage space that we just don't have right now. We do have an existing basement, but the basement is mostly ledge, so unfortunately we don't have the ability to finish that basement, which is why we're going up. And then the farmer's porch and the garage are just trying to keep in line with the rest of the houses that are being built in Burlington. We like the street we're on. We've been there 7 years. We want to continue to stay there. So, rather than have to sell and buy somewhere else, we'd like to put those additions on the house.
Okay, thank you. Jim, any questions?
I don't think so.
Brenda?
No, I think it's tastefully done.
Charles?
Would you say you had ledge in the basement?
We do, yes.
No, I don't have any questions.
Mark?
So do you have plans of the proposed addition?
We do, yeah. Those should. Do you not have the exterior one?
I just have, oh, I didn't get that.
Oh, all right.
I didn't get that, all right. All right, so now you do have. So the proposed addition is the 2-car garage, and there's no way to shift that any way so that it would fall within the,
There's really not. It would be essentially a 1 1/4 car garage if we were to expand it. We're looking to have the double car garage because of the lack of storage space that we have in the basement. We do have a shed, but having the double wide garage would just be, easier from a storage perspective.
so because of that ledge, you're unable to
We just can't
build
finish
in that area?
We can't finish the basement. We have probably about a little over 6 feet of clearance height in the basement, and it would be a massive undertaking to drill out all that ledge and basically finish the basement. So, unfortunately, that's not going to be an option, which is why we're going up as opposed to trying to
Right.
finish that basement.
All right, I have no further questions.
John?
Nothing right now.
Mike?
No.
Just had a quick question on the porch in the front. Is it perfectly in line with the existing?
It is going to be. The house, from looking at the plot plan, and again, the road may have been changed after the house was built, but it looks like the house was kind of built at an angle. It was a little kind of
Definitely the right
strange
side's
because
closer.
one side is, 22.4 feet back, and the other side's gonna be 21.3. So you can even see that from the side of the house, where the front of the garage is 14.7, the back is 13.7. So the house was kind of built diagonally, or when the street was finished and after the house was built, it must have just cut across, cut diagonally a little bit on there. But the farmer's porch is not gonna extend any further out than the existing porch is going to be. I don't know if you have a picture of the current house in there.
Yeah,
So that current porch,
no, actually, I don't have a picture of the current.
I can
Yeah, that'd be great if you could just pass that around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that current porch that's there by the doorway, basically it's just gonna extend that same amount to where the garage begins in the current plan of the house.
Okay, so it does keep the front wall that you have here, you're keeping that flush. You just-
Yeah, it comes out about 4 feet from the doorway, so
Yeah.
that's gonna, that basically is gonna be flush the whole way across. Now it's just, part of it will be the farmer's porch, the other part will be the existing house.
So the roof line is gonna stay the same all the way along?
Roof line's gonna stay exactly the same, yep. It'll just be the
Just
porch
going up.
will be there, and then the second floor will be above
But the
that.
house is kitty corner, so that the right side is still closer to
Yeah,
the street.
yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure they weren't going out further than
Yeah,
what the
alright.
existing house was.
Yeah, it's not coming out any further
Yeah.
than where it is right now.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or against this proposal? Please introduce yourself and,
Hello, I'm Brian Grislack. I'm one of Sean and Melissa's neighbors. I actually live diagonally across the street from the house, and I'm here to speak on their behalf in favor of this addition. I think it's a good move. I think it'll match the neighborhood. My house is a second floor addition house as well, and it goes with the trend of the neighborhood. It'll look like the rest of the houses. Most of them have second floors. They bought it from my in-laws, so I'm familiar with their basement, which is in like 7 or 8 different tiers of heights. It is pretty amazing down there, the rock that is under that house. So I knew that storage would be an issue, and with a growing family, I totally understand why they would want to go up, and I'm definitely in favor of it. I think it'll be a good addition to the neighborhood.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this? Seeing none, take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
Motion made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Anyone else with any other questions or comments on this?
I'm good.
Make a motion to approve 19 Raleigh for a right side variance of 1.3 feet and a front setback variance of 3.7 feet, as shown on plot plan dated 2/18/19.
Oh, wait, sorry, I'm sorry.
And as shown on plans dated 2/14/19, page 1 and page 5. It's 2 5.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Motion is made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. All set, thank you.
Thank you, good luck.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is a new hearing for Frank Pepe's. Brenda, can you read that into the agenda for us, the record for us, please?
Petition of Frank Pepe's of Burlington, excuse me. Frank Pepe's of Burlington LLC for property located at 75 Middlesex Turnpike, as shown on map 52, parcel 2 of the Burlington Assessor's maps. The applicant is seeking a special sign permit pursuant to Article X 111, Section 13.1.3.2, 13.1.3.3, and 13.2.0 of the zoning bylaws for the installation of signs. Sign 1, wall sign to be 21 3/4 in height by 32 4.5 in length, and to be located on the side west elevation over the exterior entry door to read Frank Pepe Pizzeria Napolitana. Sign 1 is compliant with the Town of Burlington sign bylaw. Sign 2, projecting sign on the awning to be 68.5 in height by 76 wide by a 36 projection to be located on the side west elevation over the exterior window on the right-hand side of tenant space to read established 1925, with graphic symbols on either side. The area of signage graphic on the side of the awning is 7.5 in height by 76 in length, 3.96 square feet area. Sign 2 is compliant with the Town of Burlington sign bylaw. Sign 3, wall sign to be 24 inches in height by 36 inches in length to be located on the side west elevation to the left of the exterior door to read Frank Pepe Pizzeria Napolitana, established 1925. The sign would be the second wall sign in the same elevation as sign 1 and would be in violation of the zoning bylaws. Section 13.1.3.2, which permits one wall sign for each business side of the building. In addition, the applicant is seeking a modification to the prior Burlington Zoning Board of Appeals decision 2016-127, Our House Furniture, and 2017-169, The Friendly Toast, as shown on plans submitted on March 11th, 2019, and a copy may be reviewed at the town clerk's office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great on that one.
Please introduce yourself and give us an overview of the project.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I am Bill Proyer for the applicant tonight. And I have a couple of friends with me, and they can introduce themselves when it's time for them to talk. Will that be okay?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm very excited about having Frank Pepe's here. I've been working on this for a while with these guys. And when I was in college in Connecticut, we road trip down to New Haven to get their pizza. It was the only place around, so I'm looking forward to not having to make that long trip anymore. So I think you guys will enjoy it. They do have their special permit from the board, and they have their beer and wine license as well. So this is kind of the last piece of it. There are 10 stores now, Ken?
This would be our 11th.
This will be the 11th one, the second in Mass. There is one in Chestnut Hill, and the others are mostly Connecticut. I think there's one in Rhode Island and one in New York State, so. It's salad and pizza, beer and wine. And they know what they do great, and they stick to it, so I can't say enough about it. I'm very excited. So as you heard from the ad, we're proposing 3 signs. 2 of them would be by right, except for those conditions that we're all familiar with, and 2 of the other tenant spaces. So sign 1, which is the larger sign above the storefront, and the awning sign, the projecting sign on the awning would both be by right. And then the third sign, which is to the left of the entryway, would be that second wall sign that we'd need to leave for in any case, so. Just a note on the wall sign next to the door. We just think, well, I mean, to me, it looks like a sort of nice decorative feature. And the location's good because it's sort of a pedestrian-friendly eye-level sign where you're not looking up, so I think it has a lot of value. It adds a little hominess to the entranceway. So again, it's pretty inconspicuous. It would, dimensionally comply as well, except, being the second sign. So we think it accents and complements the facade very nicely. And we hope you look favorably upon it. I'm going to let the designer give you some more technical information on the installation, the lumens and things like that, because I know you'll be interested in hearing that as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Lauren Rosen, and I own a company, Artifacts. We're based in Connecticut, a town called Bloomfield. And we've been doing Frank Pepe's work for about 5 years now. I was fortunate enough to grow up in New Haven, so I grew up with Pepe's Pizza as a kid. And we tend to be biased, but I think it's the best pizza in the world. Beyond that, I'm going to describe the signs to you and give you some technical aspects. So our theory here, Frank Pepe Pizzeria Napolitana, the main sign, we were going to take the tagline, established 1925, and separate it from that main sign. We just didn't feel it looked right there. and by putting it on the awning valance, I kind of thought it was an incidental. I didn't know it would be considered a sign, and that's probably where I went awry. We thought it was more of an embellishment than a sign, but I know certain jurisdictions consider that to be signage. Frank Pepe, the letters are a halo-style letter, so they're fabricated out of aluminum. They're sprayed black. They spill a light onto the wall and back, making a silhouette. The luminosity, and we're using 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin, which is about mid-range. The luminosity, when it starts, and this is before it's diffused, it's about 180 lumens per square. But because it's shining on the back wall and you don't see the light itself, it's roughly cut by 75%. So you're looking at about 45 lumens per square, and that's actual fact. I write about lighting, so I'm not coming in to tell you that we're estimating here. Pizzeria Napolitano is a traditional channel letter. It's a small channel letter. It's 8 1/4 inches high, which is fairly minuscule. And I was pointing out to Ken, not that it's relevant here, but the last 3 locations that we did, one was Chestnut Hill. I think the aggregate square footage was 250. Warwick was 400, and Waterbury, Connecticut was also 400 square feet. And, we're looking at 65 square feet. So this is how it's comprised. The Pizzeria Napolitana is a traditional channel letter, albeit small. The LEDs, which are red, they start off at about 150 to 160 lumens per square foot. When they're diffused with the red faces, they roughly drop to 75 to 80. So we can meter that for you if you're really interested. The sign that's below, and the sign that was referenced before, that's to the left-hand side of the door, which is more an exit door, it's not an entry in. That's considered to be a stencil cut sign, a stencil cut letter. And how that's manufactured, it's aluminum plate. The letters are cut in through the plate, and then there is a dimensional acrylic that's pushed through the cutouts. So just the letters light. So it's only 6 square feet if it was considered a sign around its perimeter, but if you look at the letters, it's probably more like 4 square feet, and the luminosity is probably in the 60 to 70 range per square foot luminosity-wise. I can answer any questions about how things are fabricated. I think here we're more talking about what is a sign, what isn't a sign, square footage, and that type of thing. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, Mike, you got anything?
So that door is an exit door, not an entrance door?
It's solely an exit door. Our main entrance is, I'm Ken Berry, the CEO of the building. The main entrance is inside the mall.
In the mall.
And where that awning on the right was one of Uno's, they had 2 entrances, one inside the mall and one outside. So for traffic control, we went to one, and we had to replace that with an exit door. And, I think it's 75 feet apart or something like that, whatever the fire marshal code is on that. And so that's strictly an exit door. And, as it was mentioned, it's really more for the aesthetics, because it's just like a single door on a brick face.
Do you think having a sign that would confuse people, that could be the entrance, or?
I don't think so. The sign below was just more a decorative sign for pedestrian level.
Okay.
And it was requested by the mall. I thought it was a good idea because I thought it gave the front balance. But if you see that door up close, you know it's an exit door. There's nothing welcoming about that door.
Okay. No further questions.
John?
Yeah, I don't have any real questions, just a comment. You know, I like the halo lighting. I think the Frank Pepe sign on the top part of the store looks appropriate. I like the one on the awning. I think it makes it look kind of authentic to what you're doing. But I don't like this other sign at all. I just don't see the need for it. I think it's redundant. It's just, what I'm concerned about mostly is that, you know, we have an awful lot of restaurants that are coming down into that area. There's a bunch of them right in and around you. Everyone's gonna be looking for signage. So I think we really need to scale back where we can. And that just, to me, seems like it's a redundancy and that you don't really need it. It's not gonna draw anybody in. You already said you're not bringing them towards that door. They'll probably know anyways, of course, but personally, I'm against that sign altogether.
Yeah, I would never argue with that opinion. I think it's valid.
Mark?
This is sign number 4, right? The one that we're referring to, the left, one to the left of the door, or is that
Sign
one?
one.
No, that would be 3.
Oh, that's 3, okay.
Yeah, the ad got 1, 2, and 3. I think the 4 on the building inspector's letter, is that where you're seeing it?
There is 4 on amongst these signs. Which one is 4?
I don't see 4.
Not four, there's only 3.
Yeah, that one I give up on.
So there's only 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why that, his letter references the 4.
Okay, I'm referring to the building inspector's letter.
Right,
Okay, so there's only 3.
there is.
All right, so dispense with that, and I do agree with John. That the door is only there for fire code purposes, right, as an exit? And so I really don't, I think that John is right. We're gonna get a lot more sign applications for the side of the entire mall, and I think it's a lot cleaner. I think you've, as John has indicated, you've made your point. You know, all these signs are really, they're authentic, you know, sort of Little Italy signage, you know, that I think does.
So we have a theory at work. We subtract all the time, and we ask ourselves, with this piece subtracted, is it better, is it worse? If it's no worse, we will subtract because we believe in a minimal approach. That's been my angle since I got old. As a kid, I tend to be, you know, more embellished with my approach. But our feeling here was that it was a decorative balance to the rest of it. It was a little more emblematic, a little more like their original logo way back when. So we felt it was kind of a nice balance, and when we pulled it away, there was something missing. But, you know, I would say it was 55-45. It wasn't like monumentally disturbing, but we thought it looked better with that particular piece.
Yeah.
I have nothing further at this time.
Charles?
Say I was with you on that sign 3 until I realized it was an exit door. That makes it a little bit more difficult for me to understand why it's there. And I agree with John that there's a lot more coming in, and I'm concerned that right off the bat we're starting off with a couple of big signs that maybe we don't need both of them. But other than that, I like the top one, and you know, obviously the awnings are to me not that big of a deal. So those are my comments for now.
Brenda?
You had mentioned that, you had said the pizzeria Napolitana was gonna be 150 to 160 lumens per square foot, but then on the,
It's prior to diffusion, so if you're
Got it.
just treating the lighting as we arrange it within the format, if you held a meter to it, that's what you would hit. But once you diffuse it with the red acrylic, it cuts it way back.
okay, so that would be, it won't exceed 90?
I think it would be under 90. I estimated about 75-ish.
Okay.
Maybe 80.
Okay.
We,
Just as a frame of reference, the Burlington, Mass sign that's behind you, that's 9 square feet. The sign that's being discussed right now is 6 square feet, to give you an idea of how small it is.
I think the
and I'm with the other gentleman on the board here, you know, at one point, I was thinking, am I the 45 or am I the 55? And, you know, if it's an exit door, we're really not trying to draw attention to that door. If we start giving out excess signing, you know, it's, I don't think it's gonna give us that aesthetic appeal that we're looking for that side of town. I do like the established 1925 in the awning. I do like the, you know, the standard, you know, sign on the top. This additional second, or what we're calling third sign here, I don't know that I would go for it.
We don't want to overstate the case. Ken, if you only had 2 signs, would you feel awful?
Well, I think one of the other elements on the design thing, Justin might even speak to it, is we took over about 60% of the linear storefront of the windows that was there. So there is another business at some point is going to go next to us and extend down where the Sears was. Sorry.
Garrity, add a few more things. Justin Feldhaus, General Manager of Rosen Mall. So the balance of the portion of Uno's space will be another business. We're in the process of just working things out with them right now. So that, to Ken's point, there will be another business to the left of their storefront.
So that,
Looking for something that was at eye level, because it is a sidewalk right in front of there, that would just, you know, yeah, people could go like that, but more likely they're gonna, you know, look at eye level. That would distinguish us from the property, the business that's next door.
Just
So-
curious, I'm sorry. Is the second space or the second tenant potentially another restaurant?
At this point, yes.
So then they're probably gonna come back and look for another eye-level sign as well. Just gonna throw that out there.
We're the last ones, we swear.
You didn't bring me any samples, so.
Last guy who didn't know always wants to do it.
I would just point out the difference between the day and night view, for the reasons they're cited about just people walking along that sidewalk. You know, there'll be no other way to sort of notice that. And I know that you've seen some signs at Wayside recently where the projecting signs, for that very reason, when people are walking, you know, perpendicular to the building. It's just a way to identify those storefronts. And there's not, you know, there's really no other way to do that. So, especially in the night condition, that's why it was put there. And it is, I mean, the impact will be
Yes, so if you're on the side.
essentially limited to people just walking there. I mean, it doesn't have any real value for people driving, you know, on Middlesex or coming into the mall. So that was the thinking. It was just that level, that eye level benefit that it would provide without being overwhelming and, you know, adding to what you were talking about, which is, you know, potential clutter of signs. So that's really the thinking.
Yeah, I don't even think it would qualify as a sign in our book, it's more like a plaque. That's how small it is. But seriously, that's 9 square feet, this is 6. It's very small.
Brenda, anything else?
No, thank you.
Jim, any questions?
No, I mean, I agree with all the comments that have been made on the board. I don't necessarily agree with you that, I wouldn't compare Wayside with this. Wayside is kind of an outdoor walking mall, and I don't think people are gonna be walking along this sidewalk as often as they would be at Wayside. I don't see the comparison there. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
just a point of reference. Can we take these signs individually and vote on them,
Yes.
as opposed to doing it as a group, because, you know, it looks like,
Yeah, if that's the way the board would like to do it.
Unless they agree to withdraw.
yeah, unless they agree to,
Agree to withdraw.
I suppose we could do it that way too.
Yeah, we'd still have to split it up. So yeah, if we feel like we're leaning one way or we don't know, not sure what the vote is gonna be, we can split them at first and then take the vote from there. I had I had a question. On the pizzeria, I'm not gonna say this right, but Napolitana, is that halo lit?
No, that's a forward lit sign. You know, I thought on the way up, I should have brought an example of another one that we did in Manchester, Connecticut, but it really is a nice look with the halos and the smaller backlit letters. Beautiful look.
Okay, so I guess my further question, why did you not go with halo on this, on that part of it?
There's a few reasons, and really the important part here is the pizza, and it's Pizzeria Napolitana, and it's so small that to try to get some balance with all halos, you get into a monotony and no sense of balance. So if the fulcrum of the design is between Pepe and Pizzeria Napolitana, it had a very nice balance. We did it differently in Manchester, where the Pizzeria Napolitana was under Frank Pepe and much smaller, and there's a very nice balance between the two. You know, I speak to you as, I own a sign company for 37 years, but I'm a sign designer by trade, and I'm an artist by trade. I have a degree in fine art. And my sign company, Artifacts, there's an international sign design contest. In the last 37 years, we're the world leaders, so we have a little bit of experience there.
All right, my other question on that sign is the green LED strips on the top and the bottom.
Yeah, those are architectural light bands, and we've used them on a lot of the buildings that we've done with signage and without. Again, I probably should have brought a photo, but they're very low impact.
Okay, are they the same lumens? I'm just concerned, and I guess if you could maybe elaborate on the color a little bit. The picture, I know probably doesn't do it justice, but it almost kind of looks like a neon green light strip.
Yeah, no, the LED to neon is like night and day.
Okay.
I mean, neon is light itself, where this is encased in a silicone encasement. It's just a glow.
Okay.
And our fear here is that the storefront is so far away from the heat of the action. It needed some type of even minimal vibrancy. So the halo letter, which has kind of been our style, it's really not enough to pull it off. And I think with the green, the red, and the halo, we've got a good balance. And I think if you drive by at night and take a look, when it goes up, hopefully as is, you will agree. It's a tasteful sign. It's well balanced, and the luminosity, especially with that green architectural striping, is very low.
Okay, yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. I just wanted to kind of
No,
have
you
it
want to
clarified.
clarify, and I
Yeah.
don't blame you. I'd want to know everything.
The second wall sign near the door, I agree with some of the other comments from the board. I was leaning actually towards that when I thought that was the entry to the space. But knowing that that's an exit, I think that's gonna cause some confusion, and when I thought it was an entry, I thought there was a reason to have that extra sign. Without that, I agree with the comments from the board. I don't think that that's necessary. Those are my comments from now. It's a public hearing, so we'll open this up to the public. Does anyone here like to speak on this proposal? Seeing none.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
Motion made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments?
They'd be willing to withdraw
No.
sign number 3. If they do, then we can vote on
I
without.
I think we still have to split
I
it.
think we still have to
It's
split it.
still-
I think so.
Well, if you think about it, though, I mean, if we allow them the opportunity to withdraw without prejudice, if down the road they feel that, they need it, they could always come back. If we vote it down, they can't come back for
Yes.
2 years.
We don't we don't want to be denied. I mean, we want to open and have signs. And I think you'll want us to have signs so we'll be successful, so.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna vote
we-
for this other sign.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We understand we're not going to get the votes for number 3. And we would not appeal your denying that, or if you want us to withdraw a request for number 3.
That's what we're discussing,
done.
which would be
Yeah.
best for you.
We'll
You know, we wanna
withdraw
leave
the
it open
request.
for you, too.
Well,
you know?
what John's saying is if you withdraw without prejudice, you know, if you open and you come and you find that you're really having an issue not having a pedestrian level sign, you could, you know,
Yeah.
come back to us in a year or two and say that, you know, try to make your case for why you have an issue there, and we could reconsider. If we deny that sign, then there's a time limit, I believe, of 2 years that you
Yeah,
can't
we
even
don't
reapply.
want you to have to do that.
Okay.
We would respectfully withdraw a request for sign number 3.
Okay. We'll have to split that out first.
So I think in the interest of efficiency, I think we can probably split out 1 and 2 as one, and then 3 as another.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to split Frank Pepe's application to sign 1 and 2, and then separate sign 3.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0.
I'll make a,
All right, you want to do the approval first or withdraw? Okay.
I'll make a motion to withdraw sign 3 from Frank
Sec-
Pepe's.
Second?
Withdraw without prejudice.
Make a motion to withdraw without prejudice.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve a wall sign, sign 1, and a projecting sign, sign 2, for Frank Pepe's on 75 Middlesex Turnpike, as shown on drawings dated 12/26/18, sheet 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, it says right on it.
It's on it,
It says right on it.
yeah. Okay. Motion's made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time. Thank you.
Welcome to Burlington.
Get the clam.
I got it in New Haven, it's excellent. When's the opening day?
Early June.
Awesome.
All right, that's it for our agenda. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting?
Make a motion to accept the minutes?
Second?
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Opposed? 0.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.